All right, so people see things like this online, basically talking about how much pilots can make, right? These are some large numbers, 549, 700,000, like, It leads a lot of people to the general question, how do airline pilots get paid? And I'm going to explain that to you right now. So airline pilots get paid in a few different ways, and I'm going to explain to you some of those ways. So you can either be a line holder, which means you are basically an hourly employee getting paid however much you fly. You can be reserve, which means you're getting a minimum payment, kind of like a salary, unless you go over that minimum amount of work, and in which case you can earn more. And then there's other small ways like incentives, bonuses, profit sharing, per diem, etc. So I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible, starting with the main way we get paid, and that is line holders. You get paid what you fly, hourly pay, stuff like that. So just like most people, we have an hourly rate. You know, whether that's $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $300 an hour, $400 an hour, depends on what airplane you're on, what company you work for, and what how long you've been with that company. That's what your hourly rate is going to be. And if you're a line holder, you're going to get paid what you fly. So for example, if you fly a 4-day trip and that 4-day trip credits you 20 hours, you're going to get paid 20 times whatever your hourly rate is, right? And then you just continue that throughout the month. So let's say you worked, 80 hours that month, you're going to get 80 hours times whatever your hourly rate is. That's your base pay. On top of that, you're getting per diem, which is every minute you're away from your house, you're getting a certain amount of money as well, which isn't a lot of money, but it does accumulate over time, especially when you're gone on long 4-day trips consistently. That's like the base way you're making your money. You're getting your per diem, you're getting your hourly rate, etc. Now for reserve, basically your company is going to set like a minimum amount. So let's just say the minimum amount for your company is 75 hours, okay? What that means is no matter what, you are going to get paid 75 hours for that month times your hourly rate. If you fly 10 hours, you're getting paid 75. If you fly 50, you're getting paid 75. If you fly 75, you're getting paid 75. But if you go over that and you work more, so let's say you worked 100, you'll get paid 100 hours. So it's a minimum, but you can make more. And a lot of people with high seniority will opt to get paid via reserve, so they'll get that 75 flat. And since they're senior, they'll actually bid to fly, or they'll try and fly as little as possible. They'll try and drop trips, or put themselves as like the last person to get called, et cetera, just based on your seniority. And then they'll pick up trips on their off days to make more money on top of that 75 minimum, and they'll end up working like a very small amount and getting paid a lot. But that's just some ways people can kind of game the system. Not even game the system, but just manage their time, manage their schedule to make money. But let's go back to the hourly. There's other ways you can make a whole lot more than just your hourly. For example, premium trips or percentage trips. It's called something different for every airline, but basically what it is they'll come at you and be like, hey, we need this 3-day trip, this 4-day trip covered. We don't have anyone to cover it. Can you fly it? But we're going to pay you 200%, which means instead of your hourly rate, let's say it's $300, you're now getting paid $600 an hour for that trip. Let's say that trip credits 20 hours. Well, 20 times 600 is $12,000, so you could make $12,000 for that trip. But it goes even higher. Some companies will give you 300%, and then you're making just short of $20,000 for a 4-day trip. And you can see kind of what I'm getting at here. There's ways you can make a lot of money. There's ways you can make over 100,000, more than that even, in a month. There's so many ways to make money, and that's why, and this is just a factual number, that's why pilots at mainline carriers, captains, can make over $1 million in a year, is because they just have to know how to game the schedule, manage their time properly, and pick up the right trips. It's very possible. It's done frequently. Now, that is not the average. Your average everyday airline pilot is not making $1 million. While it's possible, that isn't really the average. The average person is just working their regular schedule. They're working their X amount of hours a month for the schedule they get. They're getting their bonus. They're getting their profit sharing, which is like an airline bonus, etc. They're getting those little bundles of cash, but for the most part, they're just making their money and they're working. And they're still making a very comfortable living, let me tell you. And the beauty of it is, if you want to make more money in a month, let's say you want an extra $60,000 this year because I want this car. Well, you just have to manage your time properly and pick up a couple extra trips at a certain percentage. No problem. That's just how it is. So, people might think, oh, that's crazy. That's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and you can make a lot of money in this career, but you also have to realize this is not an easy lifestyle. You're gone from home a lot, and so you do suffer some consequences for making extra money. You're just going to be gone more. You're going to be working more. And unlike most jobs, when you're at work, you're at work and then you go home. Like for us, if it's a 3-day trip, a 4-day trip, you're literally gone that whole time. You're not seeing your family. You're not in person, none of it. So there is gives and takes for sure with making a lot of money. If you want to make 7 figures, go for it. You can't just do that anywhere. You need to be in the right position, having the right hourly rate on the right airplane, senior captain, etc. So that's not just going to happen. But if you want to do that, you're going to be working your butt off. But realistically speaking, that's not really needed. Like you don't. That's kind of excessive, I think. But that is how airline pilots make money. And just to add to this, because a lot of people ask me this question and they're like, well, okay, how much do you make? Because the regionals, you guys don't make anything. Like, I don't know where people get their information, but right now, 2024, it is a fantastic time to be an airline pilot. We have the best work rules we've ever had. We have the best pay we've ever had. And while there is a pilot shortage, overall the lifestyle is the best it's ever been. A year 1 regional first officer can easily make 6 figures, if not much more, depending on just how much they work and work their schedule. And that's not even that difficult. Like, you can do that and not even work a crazy amount. And then when you upgrade to captain, you get a 50+% pay raise. And then every year thereafter, you're getting a pay raise. And then you go to the majors, pay raise, and then et cetera. You go captain. It keeps on going up. So long story short, with the airlines, like a lot of things in life, the longer you're in it, the longer you've been dedicated to it, the more money you can make. And there's a reason a lot of people are interested in the industry. It's fun. It has a lot of perks. The benefits are amazing. The unlimited travel benefits across the entire world and the pay are all really good reasons why people want to become a pilot. But I will say this again, and I just have to say this because I don't want to sound like I'm just saying, oh, look at us and we're doing all the, There are great parts about it, and there are parts about it that are definitely drawbacks to your quality of life. And you have to be okay with the whole package if you want to live the lifestyle. And if you can do it correctly and you can manage your time properly and you don't make money your only driving motivation for this career, I think you're going to set yourself up for a fantastic job, fantastic career, and you can have a great lifestyle as well. So that's how pilots make money. Hopefully this video was informative and helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments.